country. And so I just want to tell you, I, as a parent, I am with you. Okay, I'm not here just as a political wife of a retired Marine Corps officer. I am a mother of 5 children. I am a firm believer in educational freedom because my kids have been in public school, homeschool, and private school. And I feel like every single parent, children are a heritage from the Lord, not the state. Okay? We are not birthing people in the service of the state of Virginia or the United States of America. We should have the freedom to choose where their kid goes to school, because I tell you what, if the money followed the kid, we wouldn't have half the problems that we're having with our schools right now, because a lot of it comes right back down to money, and they know that your kid has to go to their school and you don't have the freedom to choose any other location, and so they get to take advantage of you and they get to undermine your rights. If we choose to partner with the state in order to educate our children, it should be just that, a partnership, not a tyrannical, totalitarian, authoritarian.
Snow kind of. Oh yeah, that's like no. They got theirs for Christmas, and I was like, is your trampoline okay? Because we had like a free snow, and the way their backyard was, the snow just sat on it. Anyway, well, our net like, and the bar popped. So she has. It's a different. What and we got in the long when you apply to the nursing teacher.
All right, do me a favor. Say your name first and last and spell it out for me, please.
My name is Jason Kaiser, Jason, Kaiser, Kaiser.
And you live in?
I live in Stafford, Virginia, specifically in the Quiet District.
You have a sign that says Parents' Choice. It also calls out the law on the books that requires students to be in class 5 days a week, but requiring the state to adhere to CDC guidance when it comes to masks. You're calling specific things out pretty clearly. Why are you out here tonight?
I'm out here for Parents' Choice, 100%. Look, the law, SB 1303, does not mandate masks. Neither does the CDC guidance. CDC is simply providing guidance for counties or states to mask children, vaccinate children, and putting all these requirements in place. But those are not required. They are not mandated. Those are just recommendations. We're here to fight those recommendations. This school board last week voted to continue based on a false premise that this is a law that mandates masks and that the CDC mandates masks. That is not true. That is not true. This school board needs to stand up and have courage to make a decision and support parents in our choice to send our children to school with or without a mask.
State senator out of
Do me a favor. Say your name first and last for me, please. And spell it
April
out.
Batiste.
Spell it out for me.
APRALBATTISCE.
Okay, April, and you can look right at me. Why are we here tonight? We see a lot of signs that say parent choice. We see a lot of signs that appear to be in support of Glenn Youngkin's mask optional, making masks optional. Why did you come out tonight?
My family, my husband and I are out here tonight because we have kids who attend Stafford County schools, and we believe basically that all it is just a parent's choice. It's a parent's choice if you would like to send your kid to school with a mask, and it is also a parent's choice if you don't want to send your kid to school with a mask. And that's all we're here for, is to have our rights there in place.
Talk to me about the effect the mask has had on your children.
It's for me personally, it's about the choice, about my right as a parent to have a choice about the mask on my child, whether it be impactful or not on them. Just like I said, it's a parent. It's as a parent, I have a choice to mask my child to school, just as those parents have choices to not mask their child to school.
You were, and yesterday I saw you at one of the march that we covered at Margaret Branch Elementary School. So do you have a child in elementary school?
Yes.
Were you disappointed that they were turned away if they wanted to come in without a mask on? They were still forced to wear masks despite the governor's executive order.
Yes, I was very disappointed that the kids were turned away. We were there to bring the kids to school yesterday, and they were turned away because they did not have a mask on. We were there ready to send our kids into the classroom, and they were turned away. So yes, I was upset.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Do me a favor, say and spell your name first and last, and spell it out for me, please.
Carla Alsop, Karla Alsop.
Okay. Carla, and we are out, and you live in Stafford County?
I live in Stafford County, yes sir.
We're out here tonight at the Stafford School Board meeting. There are many signs that saying parent choice. You obviously are bringing a message here to the school board. What is that message?
The message is, you made a decision, you got it wrong. This is not something that you can do. We're not going to continue to allow you to do it. We're going to stand up and we will be heard. And if you continue to do this, we will continue to bring it to you.
How long have you lived in Stafford County?
I've been in Stafford County for 9 years.
Traditionally, Stafford has been more of a conservative county. However, in recent years, we have seen the voting trend vote more to the Democrats, maybe to the left. Are you sensing a change here in the electorate, going back toward conservatism, or do you think that this is a fight that has a ways to go?
No, what I think is that we've always had these conservatives here. I think that they've been shouted down for so long and feel like they can't stand up for themselves, that they're finally coming out of the woodwork and saying, no, we're here, and you've pushed us too far. You've brought our kids into a political fight. Someone asked me that question yesterday. My answer was, you brought them into this. I didn't do this. I just want an education for my children. That is it. I want the mask off. I want an education that is worthy of them, and you're depriving them of that. And I think conservatives are here to stand up and say that very thing.
Okay. Say your name first and last and spell it out for me, please.
My name is Margaret Lowry, and my last name is spelled Lowry.
And you live in?
I live in Stafford County in the Rock Hill District.
Margaret, there are so many people here tonight talking about the masking policy in Stafford County Public Schools. Where do you stand on that policy?
I am in favor with the vote the Stafford School Board took last week to keep masks mandatory. I feel like we've got to do everything we need to do to end this pandemic, and masking is the way to do it in the schools.
Have you been affected by COVID at all? Have you gotten COVID? Did you know anyone who did get COVID? And why do you think the masks are a tool to get out of the pandemic?
It's been advised by the World Health Organization most recently. They just advised that we need to get vaccinated and mask up. But I have had several relatives, sadly, to pass away from COVID. I had a friend that had a long 2.5 month stretch with COVID before he passed away. So I have seen it firsthand. I personally have not had COVID, but I have had my vaccinations through the booster.
And how long have you lived in Stafford County?
21 years.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a retired administrator from Stafford County Public Schools.
Okay, so you've worked in the schools for a long time.
I worked in Fauquier County for 21 years and then worked here for 25 years.
21 years in Fauquier and 25 in Stafford? Oh my goodness, that's such a storied career. Thank you very much.
It was my life history, yes.
Wow, wow. Well, Margaret, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Do me a favor, say and spell your name first and last one, please.
Clifford Heinzer, Clifford Heinzer.
And you live in?
Stafford, right here in the Quiet Harbor.
And you represent which organization?
The Stafford Democratic Committee.
There are so many people out here tonight with signs raised in opposition of having their child wear a mask. They want school masking choice. Where do you stand on this issue?
We want to keep the schools open, and we think critical to that will be making sure that schools are safe. Because all parents want to feel comfortable sending their children to school. We have to consider staff and our teaching staff. And we think the best way to have that is to follow sensible guidelines, like wearing a mask, being vaccinated. That makes it safe for everyone, and everyone can be comfortable.
Many have blamed the governor for causing confusion in executive order declaring options, when yesterday we saw school principals turn children away who weren't wearing masks. Do you think the governor caused some confusion with this executive order?
Yes, I think there has been a clear problem with the executive order. And I would point out the problem is, of course, we have an executive order that stands in contradiction with the existing law. And that has put a lot of school boards into a dilemma, and they've had to appropriately side with the law. Of course, these cases are now in court, and we're going to see how that's ultimately resolved.
Pursuant to Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the closed meeting of the School Board of Stafford County on January 25th, 2022 be certified by adopting the following resolution. Now,
Halstead? Agree. Ms. Healy?
I agree, but I want to note that I was in for a portion of the meeting as I moved it. I was not in for the discussion of the high school site.
Ms. Randall?
Agree.
Ms. Sigmund?
Agree.
Dr. Warner?
Agree.
Madam Chair, the